Well, this morning we have in our studios Ex-Gombe, who is a former chairman, Gombe State Football Association. He holds many portfolios, but let's just say he's very interested in sports development in Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Sunrise Daily.
Thank you, Mafe. It's good to be here once again.
You've heard the representative there in terms of the steps that they want to take in light of recent development and the recent allegations. $25 million contributed or given by FIFA and CAF over a period, and then they want to do a special audit probe. What do you think it's going to yield?
Well, Mafe, thank you so much, and I thank the Federal House of Representatives for waking up from their slumber. This matter of accountability, not only in NFF but generally in sports, has been a recurrent decimal that many of us have been called names because we have been shouting, we have been talking for over 25 years calling for accountability. On the issue of FIFA funds, this is not even the period they are quoting from 2015 to 2025 is a short period. They should go back to as far back as 1986 from 1986 to date.
So it's not far enough.
What?
It's not far enough. I mean, 1986 to date is a long time. It's almost 40 years.
Yes, exactly. So it is not the very first time. It is just now that some interest groups, some stakeholders have started to point fingers, perhaps because losing out, or there are certain things that are after, or there's a conspiracy theory that is going on. That's why people are now talking. But we have been saying it, that these FIFA funds needs to be accounted. With the $802,000 that the Honorable quoted, which was true. I remember a serving minister in this country, when FIFA came and audited the account and they found that $800,000+ was not accounted for, I alerted the minister. I said, are you aware that FIFA were in Nigeria auditing the accounts of the NFF? He said he didn't know. He said, what happened? I laid my hands on the audit report of FIFA, and he's going to send a query to the NFF. Before he even sent the query, he then called me and said, did you discuss this with anybody? I said, no, I did not discuss. Ask your office. It perhaps must have leaked from your office. Somebody must have told them that query is coming, so you better reply. This is it. In the reply, they said that the $800,000+ that were not missing, that were unaccounted for by FIFA themselves, the money came through central bank. And they said in their reply that if they collect that money from central bank direct, central bank would give them the naira in official rate, so they would lose money. So they took the dollars out from central bank, took it to zone 4, change it and get more naira. It ends there. I then asked, okay, fine, if they got the more naira, where does the naira goes to? So FIFA in their report said that they cannot account for where all these monies to. And guess what happens, madam? Less than 3 weeks, the wife of the minister died. These same people, he called me himself and said, your people came. I said, who? He said, NFF. He said, what happened? They came and donated 20 million to the burial committee of the wife, another 5 million to buy casket. And I said to him, why did you collect their money? Tell the burial. He said they paid the money to burial committee. I said, tell the burial committee to send it back to them. He said, look, Gara, your problem is that how do you choose who cries for you when you are bereaved? A minister. So what I'm trying to say is that it is a complete change of conspiracy. It's in the National Assembly, it's in the presidency, it's in the Ministry of Sports, Supervising Authority, and it's also in the NFF.
I know Ayo has questions for you on this one. Ayo, quickly.
Well, thank you, Mark. You know, just one or two things. Question is, does the NFF have a case to answer in this case? What are your expectations from this probe? Because we understand that NFF does not receive the money directly from FIFA or from CAF. When they have a project, they send it to the fellow who is supposed to get it done. So give us perspectives.
Yes, NFA has a case to answer, and not only NFA. The National Assembly, who have oversight functions, the stakeholders, and even the media who are supposed to be working on in the interest of the public, to inform the public. The media also are part of this charity. They are supposed to inform the public. But then, we have not even asked them to account for money we have given them. We are asking them to account for money they got from outside the country. The starting point should be the money we have even given to them. Not only the money they have collected from outside. Let me tell you what is going to happen. They may say, you didn't give us this money. You have no right to ask questions about it. And it ends there. And that will what is going to happen. The starting point should be the money we have given over time. We have a former president of the Federation that has built a very big factory in somewhere in Ibadan. Nobody asked him a question, where did he get that money? The ICPC or some leadership of Nigerian football mark their houses, seize the properties, and the matter ends up there. And today, some of them are still in charge of not only our football, but they're in charge of our sports. So there's a question, there's a question to answer. And I want to say, it is not only Nigerian football. All the 28 to 30 federations, including the Nigerian Olympic Committee, to go beyond NFA. All of them, the Nigerian Olympic Committee received subvention before the Olympics and after the Olympics from the International Olympic Committee. All of them receive money from their continental representation or affiliate bodies, and also from the international affiliate bodies, IO. Okay. So we should go beyond football and go to other federations and ask them, how much have you received?
But let's start with one, Mr. Gombe. Yeah, let's start with one. So part of what the Lagos lawmaker who we heard speak earlier said was that there is a need to take decisive action on further misuse of public funds by the leadership of the NFF. And if we are to cascade this to other federations, in all honesty, what are the institutional framework that you think can prevent this so-called misuse of funds?
Yes. First, the institutional framework that I will look at, I've been canvassing that we should have a transitional program of withdrawing from funding sports in Nigeria. Funding sports everywhere in the world, it is a private sector affair. In Nigeria, because all this in sports, we are getting free money. Remember the last Olympics, 20 billion the President Tinubu gave to us in sports. We did not account for it. We wasted it, we went to Olympics, we didn't come back with even a spoon. So this program, transitional withdrawal of government funding of sports, that's number one. Number two, the sports industry, those who receive money from the federation, especially the National Assembly, must make sure that their oversight does not only end in other sectors. They should come to sports and ask them, what did you do with this money? And force them to quarterly be publishing their own accounts. Do you know why private sector ran away from funding sports? Because there's no accountability, no transparency. Someone in this country collected in 2 years about 3 billion from super sports to manage this money with nothing to show, and super sport decided to withdraw from funding sports in Nigeria, our football. It happens, and the person is working freely. Rather, we are even promoting the person to manage our sports. It's there. Now, apart from that, Ayo, if you ask me, sports in Nigeria is being used as an opium of the masses. We are just accusing police, customs, and other places, calling them names for corruption. The most corrupt industry in Nigeria is Nigerian sports. And because we have never sent one person to jail. If we can use some people as an example and send someone to jail, then things are going to change.
So the House of Representatives has your full backing on this one?
Of course, they have people backing, but what I am saying, if it is just to witch hunt somebody, then I will not back it.
You think it is a witch hunt?
I think so. Why? Because why have they not spoken all this while? Only now.
What do you think you're trying to witch hunt?
The leadership, the present leadership. Because we have, in recent times, if you remember, if you look at my antecedents, I've been fighting for this same issue about accountability. I have been taken to court several times, but when I respond, they run away and leave the case in court. But recently, I have been seeing certain things that people have been asking or doing, even on social media, about the present leadership of Nigerian football. The immediate last leadership under Amaju Pinnick. Who was talking about corruption? Who was ever asked about FIFA funds? Most of the chunk of this money, this particular 800,000 that the honorable member raised, came during whose tenure? Was Amaju. And he's there working freely. We sent him to FIFA, he came back and he was bragging all over
the witch hunt for the current administration.
Of course, I want to say it is. If it's not a witch hunt, we should go beyond this period. We should start from Aminu Megari's time, or even before Aminu Megari. This money FIFA money has not started coming just now. Now they are building. It's
a 10-year period.
No, it's too small, madam. Let's go back. Let's go back to 1986. Do you know what happened?
We'll see if the House of Reps takes that recommendation on board. But we have to thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We wish you had a little more time. We're certainly out of time. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
Mr. Ex-Gombe is a former chairman, Gombe State Football Association, and former secretary, Nigeria Football Stakeholders Forum. Thank you so much once more.
Thank you.